Welcome to episode 10, lesson 10, where we will explore some new Italian terms using repeat bars, intervals and playing a melody hands an octave apart and a duet. Pause the video at any time if you need to recap and practice. Our first piece today, Lullaby, is marked Largo e sempre legato. Translated from Italian, largo means broadly or in a dignified manner, in other words slowly. E means and. Sempre means always. Legato we already know means smoothly, so largo e sempre legato is broadly and always smoothly, or slowly and always smoothly. The metronome mark is set at 53 dotted crotchet beats per minute. Just underneath the metronome mark you can see two P's, PP. This is short for pianissimo, which means very soft. You can also see that the right-hand melody is projected a little over this in bar 4. It's marked P for piano, soft, and the left hand continues to play pianissimo very softly throughout. The heavy bar line, followed by a fine line and two dots at the start, and then reversed at the end of bar 3, is a repeat mark. The first 3 bars are played twice, then you carry on to bar 4 and play to the end. This is a shorthand way of writing music and saves time and space on the score. Listen to the whole piece. Starting with the left hand, we almost have an ostinato type pattern. Remember to play the 2 tied Gs in the left hand as one long held note lasting 6 quaver beats. Bars 1 to 3, the repeated bars, establishes the left hand ostinato pattern. The left hand melody is different in bars 4 and 5. Bar 4, the left hand plays 2 notes together, C and G, a perfect fifth. We'll look at intervals in more detail in the next piece. This shape is repeated in bars 6 to 8, but with an extra note added as harmony in bar 7. The left hand plays 2 notes together this time, D and G, a perfect fourth, with a final note E at the very end. Let's play the lullaby left hand from the beginning to the end. Right hand finger 5 on C, below middle C, third finger on E and first finger thumb ready to play on G. After a count of 2, ready, 1 and a, 2 and a. How did you get on? Pause and rewind if you need a little bit more practice before we move on to the right hand. Now let's explore the right hand together. Take care with the rests in bars 1 and 6. The opening melody is the same in bar 6 but ends on a C. Bar 4 and 5 are slightly different. Bar 4 has E, F and D, and bar 5 has 3 repeated Gs. The right hand comes in on the last beat of the first bar, beat 6, and is pianissimo, very soft in bars 1 to 3, Then from bars 4 onwards, a little louder, piano, softly, voiced over the left hand. You will hear the left hand played very quietly to help you. Right hand thumb on middle C, finger 3 on E, finger 5 on G, finger 4 covering F and finger 2 on D in preparation, in other words, middle C position. Playing the right hand along together, remember the repeated bar. After a count of 2, ready, 1 and 2 and. How did you get on? Did you remember the rests, the repeat, and to play the melody from bar 3 a little louder, piano, than the pianissimo, very soft, in the repeated bars? Pause and rewind if you need some more practice before we put both hands together. Let's join both hands together. Aim to play the right hand a little louder in bar 4 where it's marked P for piano, but still keeping the left hand, PP, pianissimo, very soft. Play smoothly in both hands, legato, and imagine you're singing a baby to sleep with your gentle playing. After a count of 2, ready, 1 and 2 and. Well done! There are some quite tricky coordination moments in this piece. How did you get on? Did you manage to voice the right hand above the left? Pause and rewind if you need some more time to practice before we move on to the next piece. As you have already realised, we can play more than one note at a time, combining them to form a harmony. Let's look at some of the basic intervals. In this little exercise, each hand plays harmonic seconds, thirds, fourths, and fifths, both hands joining together in a final pair of fifths. Listen and watch first. Now you play along. Look out for the finger patterns in each hand. The patterns follow up and down in each hand. Right hand in middle C position, left hand in bottom C position. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. Pause and rewind to check your fingering and practice a little more, as this will help you very much in the next piece. Our final piece is a duet for 4 hands at the piano or keyboard. The top part, Primo, is played on the keys to the right. The Secondo, the second part, is played on the keys to the left. Barcarolle means boating song, and there's a link to an orchestral version of the famous Barcarolle by Offenbach from his opera Les Contes d'Hoffmann, The Tales of Hoffmann, first performed in Paris in 1881. The tempo of the piece is andante at a walking speed. We'll begin with the secondo, second part, played softly throughout. You can see that this is a little ostinato pattern made up of oscillating thirds and fourths in the right hand and fifths and seconds in the left. Imagine the secondo as the waves gently lapping against the sides of the boat. Watch out for bar 6 where there is just one note D, another change in bar 9, slightly different in bars 10 and 11, but listen to the whole of the secondo first. Starting with the left hand, the first line pattern is the same, fifths and seconds. The second line changes in bar 6 with 3 seconds, F and G, then back to the original pattern. Another change in bar 9, slightly different in bars 10 and 11, and the final bar with one chord of C with the sustain pedal and a final low C. If you are playing with another player, you will have to control the right sustain pedal as secondo. Listen to the left hand played from the beginning. Now you play along. Careful with each of the changes and remember to use the pedal in the last bar. After a count of 4, ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. How did you get on? Did you remember the changes and the pedal at the end? Pause and rewind if you need a little more practice time before we move to the right hand. Listen to the right hand of the secondo. Watch for the changes in bar 6, bar 9, bars 10 and 11, and the last bar semi-breve third at the end. Now you play along with the right hand. After a count of 4, ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. How did you get on? Did you manage the changes? Pause and rewind if you need a little bit more time to practice before we put both hands together in the secondo. Watch both hands together before we play. Now you join in. Remember the changes and the pedal in the last bar. After a count of 4, ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. How did you get on? Did you manage to coordinate all of the changes and the pedal at the end? Did you play with imagination, the waves gently lapping against the side of the boat? Pause and rewind if you want some more time to practice before we move on to the Primo. Now on to the Primo, the upper part. You can see that this is written in 2 treble clefs. The top stave has 8 VA with a dotted line running all the way to the end of the piece. This means that you play the right hand an octave 8 notes above the left. Both hands are playing the same tune in parallel but an octave apart. Before we play, let's clap the rhythm through first to establish the quaver patterns, beginning at bar 3 where the Primo enters. Watch out for the crotchet 1-beat rest in bar 11. You will hear the first 2 bar rests played on the wood blocks. The pulse will be played all the way through with the triangle marking the first beat of each bar. Clap along with the rhythm, played on the snare drum. Join in clapping after you hear the 2 bars. Notice the phrasing. Aim for a little lift after each legato phrase mark. watch out for the crotchet rest in bar 11. Remember the dynamic is mezzo piano MP moderately soft. Let's play both hands together of the Primo in the Barcarolle, the boating song. Imagine that the Primo melody represents boats gently gliding through the water. Or perhaps you could be in the boat, and as the boat glides along, you have your hand in the water and can feel the movement as the boat moves forwards. Another idea might be imagining willow trees gently blowing in the breeze or birds gliding overhead. You will hear the pulse played on the wood blocks with the first beat of each bar on the triangle to help you. Place your left hand on C position above middle C and your right hand on C position an octave above that, top C. Left hand thumb on G, right hand finger 5 on G. How did you get on playing the melody in parallel motion an octave apart? Did you remember the crotchet rest and the phrasing? Pause and rewind if you need a little more time to practice the Primo. Now we should be ready for 2 concert performances. You start first of all playing the Primo, I'll play the Secondo. Play imaginatively and with beautiful, clear legato phrasing. After the 2 bars introduction from the Secondo, are you ready? Well done! Let's swap parts. This time you play the Secondo and I'll play the Primo. After a count of 4, ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. Well done! How did you get on? I'll play it once more, but this time with only the music and both parts playing. Pick which part you would like to play and follow along, or just listen. After a count of 4, are you ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. How did you get on? I've put a link to a duet by Gabriel Fauré from his Dolly suite. Have a listen and hear how four hands at a piano playing a delightful piece sounds. If you can find another pianist to play with, do have a go. There's nothing like playing duets live to help strengthen your musicianship. Congratulations, you completed the first 10 lessons. Go back, review and revise anything you need to practice. I hope you have enjoyed playing and learning as much as I have putting this little course together. And I'll see you in the next lesson. Thank you for joining. Please do click like, subscribe and do share. In the meantime, as always, happy playing!